Afternoon, Seminole fans. This is Top Sports Picks 24, and we're back with another one. This is going to be my first deep dive. Basically, the deep dive is this full season preview. I already gave in the short, the record, but I'm going to give you the real reasons why they're going to win and lose every game this year. So, go Noles. The first game, they actually do the kickoff game. They're going to play early this year on August 24th, so that's why they're already in camp. While I'm recording this video in late July, they're already in camp, so it's going to be a noon kickoff. Wow, that's early on August 24th. They're going to play Georgia Tech. They're going to beat Georgia Tech. I say I get them like a 10 point, so maybe more than that. Let's say like a 31. No. Let's say 35 to 24. I'll give Georgia Tech maybe 24 points. Maybe they'll score a late touchdown. It'd be like 35-17 in the fourth quarter, and I see them scoring a late touchdown to make it 35-24 Seminoles. So after that, they'll be 1-0. So then they'll go to play Boston College at home, the home opener on September 2nd, 7:30 kickoff. Boston College is going to be bad for them. I got Florida State 42, Boston College 17. So they're only giving up 17 points. All right. Now they got Memphis, a big-time G5 program. Yes, Memphis is G5, but they're probably going to be in the ACC soon, especially if Florida State and Clemson leave. I can see South Florida and Memphis, Tulane being next up, because they're kind of like Power 5, mini Power 5s already. I don't know why they didn't move up, but they should be a part of the next wave. Memphis has never been, but South Florida used to be in the Big East, so they're pretty much a Power 5 anyway. So Memphis, very competitive. That's Mike Norvell's former team, so they're going to be up for this one. It's a 12 o'clock kickoff. They're not going to be able to stand that Florida heat. It's going to get to them on September 14th. I got Florida State coming away with the win, 38-24. So they're going to give up 24 again in Memphis. Now they got Cal on September 21st. Again, that Florida Heat, not the South Florida, but the Florida Heat. They're from California, but they're from Northern California. They're not going to be ready for that heat in September at Florida State. I see it being bad for Cal. I see this being a 42-10 victory by Florida State. Sorry, Cal, not today. So now that's going to be a 4-0 start for Florida State. Now we get to SMU, Southern Methodist University. Florida State is going there. A lot of people are picking them to beat Florida State. I will say they're going to give them a run for the money, but up front, at the offense and the defensive line, SMU is still acclimating. They're like South Florida and the Tulane in the future. That's why they're probably waiting. The G5 program that's turning into a Power 5 program, a Power 4. SMU used to be Power 4 a long time ago. Eric Dickerson, Craig James, Pony Express. Do your homework. It was a 30 for 30 on that. That's before my time, but I do my homework. That's why I'm timeless. But anyway, even though Florida State is going to Dallas to SMU, I can see SMU having an early lead, but they won't be able to hold it. And I don't even think they'll score a lot of points afterwards. So I would say Florida State 38-17 over SMU. So now they're 5-0. Well, I'm going to say we, because I am a Florida resident, so I'm everything Florida. Florida State, Miami, Florida, South Florida, UCF. If they have an F on it, I'm with it. All right, Clemson. A lot of people expect Clemson to be the loss, but you're wrong. You lost in the sauce. It's at Doak Campbell Stadium, October 5th, probably a night game. Not so fast, my friend. Clemson will do all right this year. They'll be a lot better this year. I got Clemson winning double-digit games. I'm not going to say how many, but double-digit games. So stay tuned for the Clemson preview, deep dive. But they will not win today. September 5th, they're going down to the Florida State Seminoles. Florida State, 31. Clemson, 24. So now that's 6-0. Now they got Duke. But this isn't your granddaddy's Duke. This is 2024 Duke with Malik Murphy. And he is from Texas. He can run. He can throw it. He's 6'4", around about 235. Looks like Anthony Richardson. Maybe throw a little bit better. Him and that blitzing defense from Manny Diaz, the former University of Miami coach, defensive coordinator for Penn State and Miami, still won't be enough to stop DJU in the mind of Mike Norvell. On the road, in a kind of close one, I got 31-20 Florida State. Go Noles. After a couple close calls, well, not really close calls, 7-point, 10-point games. That's not, I guess that's kind of close. They're going to go down to South Florida, October 26th, in the eye of the hurricane. They'll finally take a L. I got Florida State losing to Miami. We're going to say Miami 31. We're going to say Florida State 24. Okay? So now, we got UNC. UNC is going to be a pretty decent team, but Florida State going to be angry off their loss on November 2nd. I got Florida State winning big in this one because they still got a chip on their shoulder from UNC in the past, North Carolina. So I feel like Florida State is going to win 48. You heard me, 48-24. Florida State. Then we got Notre Dame. It's going to be a tough one, playoff implications. I believe this is a matchup between two teams that will make the playoff. So I gave it away. Yeah, Florida State, you can tell now. They only got one loss. So they're 8-1. They're headed to the playoffs anyway. They play Notre Dame on the road. It's going to be a big-time victory for them. 7:30 at night. Don't miss it. November 9th, Florida State goes to Notre Dame, and they're going to win 35-24. Charleston Southern. This is a tune-up. This is a lower-level opponent before they get ready for the Gators the next week, but they won't be sleeping on them. I got Florida State winning big. They'll win 52-7 over Charleston. Then they got the Gators. Everybody's making fun of the Gators. The Gators aren't going to do this. They're not going to do that. Guess what? This is a rivalry. You saw them play Florida State hard when Florida State went 10-3, and then when they went 13-1, because the bowl does count. Don't let anybody lie to you. Every game counts because everything's on film. The pro scouts are watching. The kids in high school are watching. Everybody's watching. You know, you got the Marines that say 13-0, 13-1. You guys lost. I'm sorry. But you won't lose today. The Florida Gators are going down in Doak Campbell Stadium. It's going to be Florida State 31, Florida 28. Then Florida State will face the Miami Hurricanes in the ACC Championship in the Miami versus Florida State rematch. Yeah, this is one of the few times they played twice in a year. They did it back in like 03, I think, when Sean Taylor and them were there, and Greg Jones on the other side. Greg Jones ran over Sean Taylor. You know, it was a back and forth. You know, well, guess what? This is what the ACC was always looking for. Florida State and Miami playing 2 or 3 times. They won't play 3 times this year, maybe in the future, but they'll play twice. Florida State will lose again to Miami in similar fashion. This time it'll be a little closer. It'll be 28-27. 1-point victory for the Hurricanes, and Florida State will still go to the playoffs because they finished the regular season 11-1. They'll go to the playoffs. I got them winning their first round playoff game, winning a second round playoff game, and not losing until the third round right before the national championship. So they'll be 1 game away from the national championship. So give yourselves a handshake or a hand clap and a pat on the back for the Seminole fans. Last year you guys were left out. They said that ACC and the Seminoles weren't enough, which I feel like was bogus because LSU had a Heisman winning quarterback. LSU was fresh off of SEC West Championship. Florida State beat them in 22. And in 23 they came back and beat them again, blowed them out the frame, and beat a Florida team. That's 2 SEC victories. 1 blowout and 1 road victory for Florida State. And they lead them out for 2 SEC teams, Texas and Alabama. Texas is an SEC team now. Neither one of them even made it to the championship. So ACC should go to the playoff just as well as the SEC. Even though I'm an SEC guy, I got to tell the truth. They recruit out the South, similar area. If Florida State and Clemson are considered possibly being SEC teams, then why can't they get in the playoff now? They play SEC teams. Clemson plays South Carolina, Georgia almost every year. And I'm going to say it's going to be a successful year in my eyes. You know, part of the reason why I'm so up on Florida State, of course, they got DJU out of the transfer portal, DJ Ungalale. But also, they got a lot of other guys that you got to look out for. You know, when you look at T.J. Ferguson on the line, when you look at Richie Leonard at guard or center, when you look at Roydell Williams, even though I don't think he'll start, but he'll be good in pass blocking and also catching screen passes. He did a lot of that at Alabama. Look out for the freshman Cam Davis to help. It's going to be running back by committee. I'm not so sure about Keziah Holmes. He better step it up because there's a lot of guys chopping at the bit. But the starter will be Lawrence Toafili, the MVP from the ACC championship last year. He'll have a similar performance, but it just won't be enough to beat the Canes. But Jalen Lucas, he's going to take back a lot of punt returns, kick returns, screen passes, regular wide passes from the wide out position, hitting the outside as a running back. Think Warrick Dunn. Think Christian Thompson. Just think Florida State running backs. You know, Toafili's going to be kind of like your Delvin Cook type, and Lucas is going to be more of your Warrick Dunn type. But then you're going to have the freshman Cam Davis to go up the middle, and you're going to have Roydell Williams also to be those physical backs along with Keziah Holmes if he plays up to his ability. I didn't like how he played against Georgia. That was his opportunity. But check out my college football playoff preview, because will the Seminoles play Georgia in the playoffs? They might, because I already told you they're going to win first round, they're going to win second round. They will get knocked out right before the national championship. Will it be an SEC team that does it? On the defensive side, they got Patrick Payton, first team All-ACC. I'm calling it now. He's a Bull from Miami Northwestern. Big time guy. Then we got another South Florida guy, Marvin Jones Jr. You know, his brother plays for the Hurricanes. His dad is all-time great from Florida State, Marvin Jones Sr. You got Cam Riley from Auburn at linebacker, along with DJ Lundy, one of the top linebackers in the country. You got a first-round corner in Azarie Thomas. You got probably a late draft pick at safety with Shaheen Brown and Devontae Brown. I think Devontae was an all-conference corner at UCF. He couldn't really do it at the Power 5 level, but all-conference corner is probably going to be an all-ACC third team, second team safety, and that's what he's playing at Florida State now since he left Miami. You know, he's all Florida like me. He went from UCF to Miami, and now he's at Florida State. He loves his state, so you got to love that. Then Fentrell Cypress, another all-ACC, probably a third-round, fourth-round pick, maybe even second-round pick. It depends, depending on how he plays at corner. Then you got Earl Little Jr. Earl Little Jr., his dad's a Hurricane legend. I think this year he's going to make himself a Florida State legend. Think about LaMarcus Joyner. He's playing in that slot position like a LaMarcus Joyner, like a Honey Badger. I see him causing havoc. On special teams, just this morning I heard Mike Norvell talking about them blocking kicks. That's how they beat LSU in 22. You know, they're known for special teams. Look out for Jalen Lucas or even Jalen Brown, the transfer from LSU. Those fast guys taking a lot of kicks back. Look at Jalen Brown, another wide receiver transfer coming off the bench that's going to do big things. Not to mention Malik Benson, which is going to be you guys' biggest breakout star. You'll have Kentrell Portier probably move the sticks, but he got to be sure-handed. That's the only thing with him and Darion Williamson. I'm not so impressed with Darion Williamson's hands. I like his routes, everything, but you got to finish. There's no point in getting open unless you're going to catch the ball. Hakeem Williams, 5-star out of Fort Lauderdale, Stranahan High School. He caught a few big plays last year. We're going to need a lot more because Destin Hill is hurt. So with Jalen Brown taking that Destin Hill position as the second slot behind Ja'Kai Douglas, we already know what Ja'Kai Douglas does. That's pretty much my wrap-up for Florida State. So I see them putting up a lot of points. I see them actually going 11-1 in the regular season and losing to Miami twice, and then not losing again until the game before the national championship. So first round, second round, if you run into Florida State, it's over with. Go Noles.